OPEC Plus made a surprising decision to cut production, which pushed oil prices up by about $5 a barrel and to about $81 in the United States, with some forecasters seeing prices rising by another 10% or even 15%. But could this move actually be a gift to President Biden? Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman says yes, and he joins us now to explain. So,
hey guys.
Yes?
Maybe. So guess what? Republicans and Democrats actually do have at least one thing in common, which is they both want lower gasoline prices and lower energy prices. And OPEC Plus, by cutting production and pushing prices up, actually makes it harder in the United States. This actually gives Biden some top cover within the Democratic Party to do some things to promote domestic energy, domestic hydrocarbons. And Biden has been, a climate warrior, and he signed the big green energy bill last year. But Biden has also, kind of below the radar, he's been approving some the big drilling project in Alaska. He's allowed new drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. And it's possible that the way we get, this is a bank shot, but bear with me, it's possible that the way we get through the debt ceiling problem is there's a compromise on energy. Republicans made their first bill that passed the House, which the Republicans now control, was an energy bill that includes some things Biden's never going to go for, but it includes some other things that are fairly bipartisan, such as reforming permitting so we can build more pipelines, which, guess what, also necessary for green energy development. So some people watching, the inside baseball on Capitol Hill are saying, this may provide an opportunity where Republicans and Democrats can say, well, maybe there is a little something we agree on. Let's find ways to goose U.S. Fossil fuel production because we're not getting as much as we need from the rest of the world. So it's still very complicated how we're going to get through this, but this is a possible narrow avenue through the debt ceiling problem.
Interesting. And so with all of that considered, I mean, the calculus around how Biden would get this done, I mean, what are we talking about in negotiations? Is this something that could be resolved over days, weeks, or is there a larger push?
It's already been months.
Okay.
So it's going to be months, and it's going to go down to the wire. And the real deadline is when the Treasury just runs short of money, is probably midsummer or something like that. The way this is playing out right now is Republicans are saying we demand spending cuts in order to agree to increase the borrowing limit. But Republicans still have not said what those spending cuts are. And there has to be something that looks like a compromise. I mean, the Republicans need to be able to say, we got something out of this, even if it's not that much. So the thing that Republicans could get is they could get Biden and the Democrats to agree on some of their energy ideas. And if Biden and the Democrats were to say, maybe we will go a little further on these permitting reforms. I mean, it's really hard to build a natural gas pipeline in the United States. Some of that's local opposition, but some of it is federal opposition. And if, Biden were to say, okay, we'll agree to this, Biden can go to voters and say, look, I'm doing this to keep your energy prices down. And this is also how we got through, we raised the borrowing limit, so we're not going to have, a financial catastrophe when the United States defaults on its debt. I mean, it's very complicated. There are a million moving parts, but this is, just like I said, it's a possible ray of daylight.
Yeah. I think we'll take that, or at least Trace will maybe take that. Rick, while we have you here, want to ask you about Trump and this list of 34 indictments expected to be handed down shortly, if not imminently. You're expecting something interesting. We were talking about this in the break.
I'm very intrigued by the reporting that there are not, one or two or four charges pending, but as many as 34 charges pending against Trump. So to my mind, if there really are that many charges, I don't see how you get that many charges just based on one, or there actually were two hush money payments. It's possible that there are going to be charges relating to Trump's business practices. There's been a lot of investigation into whether Trump has committed business fraud, tax fraud, insurance fraud, bank fraud. And one of the things that he has done over time, and we know the Manhattan District Attorney's Office has looked at this, we don't know if they're going to charge it, but Trump repeatedly has overvalued properties for purposes of getting loans, and then undervalued them when it comes to paying taxes, and not by 10 or 15%, I mean by multiples. So one of the prosecutors who resigned from the DA's office wrote a book about this, outlined a lot of this. So those issues are there. we're going to find out very soon if that's part of what the Manhattan DA is charging Trump with.
No doubt an unprecedented moment here. We're going to be tracking any developments around it. Yahoo Finance's own Rick Newman, thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.